or welcome back to my channel. Today I have a really nice slow flow for you. The weather outside today is super gloomy and cloudy, just very, I don't know, it makes me just want to move nice and slow, so I hope you guys are open to that. And without further ado, we'll start today's class by lying on our back. So coming flat on your back, choosing any lying position that feels comfortable for you. The legs can be crossed, or they can come out long in front of you. Maybe the feet are planted on the mat and the knees are bent. You can allow the arms to come out beside you and the palms to be pressed into the earth. And you can start to close the eyes as we start to turn inwards. Starting to settle into the mat, feeling the earth hold you, support you, allowing the body to relax as you lie here. And take a few moments of stillness. We'll slowly start to bring our awareness to our breath. Starting to focus on the inhale. Noticing how the belly rises and chest expands as we fill the lungs with air. And starting to bring our awareness to the exhale. Noticing how nice it feels to release that air from the body. Maybe we feel a little bit lighter with every exhale. And we feel a little bit more grounded with every inhale. Throughout today's practice, I encourage you to fully acknowledge and accept your breath. So often in life we hold our breath, or we try to breathe quietly, or we just breathe in a way that is not completely free. So I invite you here to use this practice to breathe completely freely. Taking a deep inhale through the nose and exhaling through the mouth, sighing it out. Letting the breath be heard and acknowledged here. Not shying away from any part of us today. You can continue to breathe at your own pace, noticing the sound of the breath, the feeling of the breath, and any sensations you may notice as you continue to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Whenever you're ready, we'll take our last few breaths here. Feeling in tune with the breath, in tune with the body, in tune with the mind. Whenever you're ready, you can start to lengthen the legs out long if they're not already. And we'll start to lengthen the arms up above head, stretching the body in two opposite directions for a nice long body stretch. We'll start to inhale the knees into the chest, moving nice and slow here. And we'll slowly rock from side to side, massaging the lower back. From here, we'll start to draw some circles with the knees, pulling the knees towards the chest and starting to drop them away from each other towards the outsides of the body. And slowly drawing a large circle until they come back together at the top. Once again, really taking our time with this movement, allowing our body to start to wake up and warm up here. We'll start to bring the knees towards the chest and drop them towards the side of the body. Option here to pause as your knees are far pulled away from each other. And just breathe into the hips here as they open. Allowing the inhale and the exhale to create space within the body. On an inhale, start to continue your circles, moving now in the opposite direction. Allowing the hands to guide the knees wherever they need to go. Beautiful. From here, you can drop the left foot to meet the mat. And what we'll do is we'll inhale the right foot up towards the sky, bringing the hands behind the right knee. We'll start to roll out the ankle here, start to flex and point the toes, welcoming any pops or cracks that you might hear. Inhale, reaching the toes towards the sky. And as we exhale, we drop the hands to the side of us, coming to the floor. And we start to drop the right foot over towards the left side, coming into a sort of twist here, allowing the left knee to drop to the side as well. Keeping the right leg fully extended here as we twist. Beautiful. On an inhale, bring the hands to clasp behind the right knee and slowly feel the right foot come back up towards the sky. And then we can exhale, bringing the right foot down to the mat. We'll move through the same flow on the opposite side, so starting by inhaling the left foot up towards the sky, bringing the hands behind the knees for support. We'll maybe draw some ankle circles, point and flex the feet here. We'll inhale, fully extending the left leg. And as we exhale, we'll start to drop it towards the right side, using the hands on the floor to support us. Both legs drop over to the right side. Whenever you're ready, we'll start to bring the hands behind the left knee. And we'll start to inhale, coming back all the way up. Left foot extended towards the sky. And we can exhale as both feet meet the mat. From here, we'll plant both feet into the mat as well as both hands into the ground or the earth. We'll start to bring the heels a little bit closer to the sits bones here. And on an inhale, we'll move into bridge pose. So with our inhale, we'll start to press into the hands and feet, lifting the tailbone up off the ground into the sky for bridge pose. We'll hold here for a moment. And on your exhale, you can start to slowly release the whole body back down to the mat. Once again, we'll inhale, pressing into the hands and feet, sending the hips up towards the sky, holding here. And with your exhale, go ahead and release the breath as well as releasing the body back down to the mat. On this round of bridge pose, we'll start to press into the feet and lift the arms as we inhale, allowing the hips to come up towards the sky and allowing the fingertips to shoot towards the sky as well. And from here, instead of dropping down, we'll start to create some small circles with the hips. So our feet are holding us steady, as well as we're pressing the weight into our shoulders here to keep us steady, and the torso is where we find movement. So slowly allowing the torso to move up and down in these nice big circles, still matching the movement to the breath. So inhaling as the hips lift and exhaling as they start to fall back down, completing that circle again. Beautiful. We'll inhale, coming back to a still bridge pose, and we'll exhale, float everything back down. Taking a moment to notice how the body feels. Maybe you feel your body warming up. Maybe you feel some sensation in the glutes or the hips here. We'll start to do that one last time for bridge pose, pressing into the hands and feet. Whenever you're ready, start to lift the pelvis up off the ground. We'll inhale the arms up as well, coming onto the shoulders. And we'll start to draw those circles now in the opposite direction. Once again, allowing the feet and shoulders to keep us steady, while the torso provides us movement here. Inhaling as the hips lift, and exhaling as we drop the hips and continue our circles. Beautiful. Whenever you're ready, you can meet me at a still bridge pose. One last big inhale here, push through. And we'll exhale as we send everything back down to the mat. Absolutely beautiful. Once again, taking a moment to check in with yourself, check in with the body, check in with the breath. Maybe you started to feel the breath start to pick up. Maybe the body feels warm. Beautiful. From here, let's inhale the knees back into the chest. And once again, we'll start to rock from side to side. Stretching out the hips here and massaging the lower back. Option again to take these knee circles if that feels nice. I find that this feels super good right after bridge pose. And just making sure if we're taking these knee circles that we move in both directions. Beautiful. And whenever you're ready, you can rock yourself over onto your side and start to push yourself up, moving nice and slow, coming into an easy seated position. Beautiful. So from here, we'll start to go ahead and take some neck rolls, starting by leaning the head over so that the right ear can meet the right shoulder. And then starting to drop the head, bringing the chin closer to the chest. And creating this large circle until the left ear meets the left shoulder. Option to create semicircles or a half circle here by continuing this motion. Or if it feels nice, we can create full neck circles, moving all the way around. Really allowing this motion to be slow and intentional. Noticing any spots that might feel tight, that we may need to spend extra time in. And when you're ready, you can start to roll the neck in the opposite direction. Beautiful. Whenever you're ready, you can come back to stillness. You can bring the hands to heart center and allow the eyes to close. We'll take a moment here to refocus on the breath. Starting to bring inhale and exhale to the forefront of our mind. Maybe using this time to create an intention for today's practice. Maybe your intention is to be still. Maybe your intention is to let go, to release, to create space for something new. Maybe your intention is to manifest. Maybe it's to be grateful. Maybe your intention is simply to relax. Whatever your intention is today, I want to remind you how worthy and deserving you are of it. You are deserving to relax. You deserve to release, to let go, to make space. You deserve to manifest all the beautiful things that you desire. You deserve to be still. You are worthy and deserving of so much. So we'll take one last breath here. Hands at heart center, eyes closed. And I want you to breathe through your intention. So we'll inhale together. And we'll exhale. Ready to move forward with a clear intention for today's practice. With an inhale, we'll start to inhale the arms up above head, lengthening through the spine here. And as we exhale, we'll start to fold forward for a seated forward fold. You can start to walk the hands back up, coming towards you. And from here, we'll inhale the arms up above head, allowing the hands to meet above you. Gaze comes towards the thumbs as the hands start to float down to the third eye, and they float down, coming to the heart chakra. Hands at heart center. We'll start to flow through this motion once again. Inhaling as we reach up towards the sky, allowing the palms to touch. And exhaling as we send the hands down to our heart space. Continue to flow through this at your own pace. Remembering what your intention is for today's class. Maybe we're thinking about all the beautiful things we're manifesting, and we're grabbing them from the air and bringing them down to our heart space. Noticing how this feels on the shoulders, on the arms, and on the torso. Beautiful. We'll take a few more rounds here. And we'll start to move forward. Once again, we'll inhale the arms up towards the sky. And we'll exhale into a seated twist, starting to drop the right hand to meet the left knee. And sweeping the left hand behind us. turning towards the back of the room for a seated twist. We'll take a big inhale here. And on our exhale, we'll start to lift the left hand into the sky and start to lean our right shoulder so that it meets our right knee. Option here to drop the left hand even further, reaching it closer to the face and reaching it across the room. We'll take a deep breath here. And we'll slowly start to inhale back into our seated twist, facing the back of the room. And we'll exhale, turning back to center, moving nice and slow. Ready to do the same thing on the opposite side. We'll go ahead and inhale the arms up above head. And we'll exhale, dropping the left hand to meet the right knee and sweeping the right hand behind us, coming into a seated twist. Let's take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, we'll do the same thing. Bring the left shoulder over to the left knee, lifting the right hand into the sky, and maybe dropping the arm closer to the face, reaching towards the left side of the body. Breathing nice and deep here. As we open up the side body. One last deep breath here. And whenever you're ready, we'll start to inhale ourselves back up into our seated twist. And we'll exhale, turning everything back to center. Beautiful. So from here, we'll start to move into tabletop. In tabletop position, we have the shoulders stacked above the wrist, and we have the hips stacked above the knees. From here, we'll start to flow through some cat-cow. Starting with cow pose, we'll draw the belly towards the mat. We'll lift our gaze, and we'll lift the tailbone as well for cow pose. As we exhale, we start to dome the spine and drop the head looking towards the knees, pressing through the hands for cat pose. You can allow yourself to slowly start to flow through these two postures at your own pace. Feeling free to add any intuitive movement here, maybe circling the hips a little bit, or shifting the weight back and forth. whatever feels good. Beautiful. From here we'll move into thread the needle. So we'll center the left palm in the mat. And we'll inhale the right palm up towards the sky, opening up the chest here. And we'll start to exhale as we send the right hand underneath the left shoulder, leaning forward so that the right shoulder is now pressed into the mat. We're using our head and our left hand to support us here. One last breath here. And we'll slowly start to inhale the arm back into the sky. Maybe taking some wrist circles here. And we can exhale both hands back down to the mat. Ready for thread the needle on the opposite side. We'll center the right palm. We'll start to inhale the left palm up towards the sky, opening up the chest. And on our exhale, we'll send the left hand underneath the right shoulder so that our left shoulder rests firmly on the mat here. One last deep breath here. And when you're ready, you can slowly lift the left hand back into the sky. And we'll exhale, sending both hands back down to the mat. From here, we can start to widen the knees, allowing them to touch the outsides of the mat. We can bring the big toes to touch behind us and slowly start to shift the weight back onto the hips. Reaching forward and resting the forehead on the mat for child's pose. Using this posture to really sink into the mat, tune into the breath and into the body here. Maybe taking a moment to reconnect to our intention from the beginning of today's class. We'll take a deep inhale through the nose. And on your exhale, see if you can sink a little bit deeper into the mat. See if you can allow the body to release just a little bit further. Beautiful. With an inhale, start to press the body back onto the knees and start to extend the fingertips forward, bringing the chest in contact with the mat for puppy pose. This is a deep stretch of the hips and shoulders here, so really focus on breathing deeply here. It will release any tension. Beautiful. Whenever you're ready, you can start to press yourself up onto your forearms and slowly sink back down into child's pose. Noticing how it feels different or similar this time. Beautiful. With an inhale, start to walk the torso towards the body. And then you can meet me in tabletop. Once again, allowing the wrists to be stacked underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. From here, we'll start to move into downward dog, starting by tucking the toes, lifting the knees up off the mat and pressing our weight towards the back of the room for downward dog. You can start to pedal out the feet, pressing each heel into the mat. And when you're ready, you can find stillness in your downward dog. Strong here as we hold downward dog, feeling unstoppable. Beautiful. Let's take a deep inhale here, and then start to bend the knees and walk the feet to meet the hands at the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold. Knowing that our fingertips don't have to reach the mat, they can maybe come to the shins or the ankles if that's more accessible. From here, you can heel toe your feet outward just slightly, so the feet are about hips width distance apart. And then bring opposite hands to opposite elbows and slowly start to swing from side to side, coming into ragdoll pose. Noticing how the back, the lower back, and maybe the backs of the legs are able to release and fold even deeper here. One last deep breath here. Beautiful. And moving nice and slow, we'll inhale the body up to standing. Beautiful. So from here, we'll start to inhale the arms up above head, allowing the palms to touch above the head. We'll bring the thumbs to meet the third eye. And with an exhale, we'll start to fold over back into our forward fold. Whenever you're ready, we'll slowly start to lift the body back up into standing. Once again, inhaling the arms up. But this time we're going to drop the elbows to about here. Bending the elbows here for kind of cactus arms or like a goalpost arms. And from here, we'll slowly start to bend backwards, coming into a slight back bend. Inhale here. And we'll exhale, slowly start to fold back over, forward fold. Beautiful. Let's center the right hand in between the feet here. As we inhale the left arm up towards the sky for a twisted forward fold. Knowing that we can bend into the knees if that makes this more accessible. Beautiful. Drop the left hand back down to the mat, centering it in the middle between the feet. And we'll inhale the right hand up towards the sky, twisting here in our forward fold. Beautiful. Bring both hands back down to the mat. And we'll slowly start to lift the body back up into standing. From here, we'll take the hands behind the body and clasp them, like so. Sort of roll the shoulders back just slightly. We'll bring the feet about shoulder width distance apart. And we'll start to bend the knees just slightly. We'll inhale here. And on your exhale, slowly start to bend over the knees, allowing the hands to sort of fall where they do. Let's take a few deep breaths here as we open up the shoulders. Beautiful. One last breath here. And we'll slowly, leading with the hands, start to bring the body back up to standing. And we'll release the hands to our side. Take a moment just to maybe shake out the arms and legs if you need to. Maybe spin the torso from side to side. Just create some looseness in the body if needed. And then we'll go ahead and move forward. So starting to inhale the arms up, maybe coming into a slight back bend if that's in your practice. And we exhale, folding back down, coming into our forward fold once again. From here, we can step both feet back for downward dog. Once again, pedaling out the feet and paying attention to any sensations we might feel in the body. From here, we'll go ahead and drop the knees to the mat. We'll widen the knees to the edges of the mat. And we'll send the hips back, coming into child's pose. Allowing ourselves to rest here, to recharge here. With an inhale, we'll start to press the body back up. Coming sort of into a tabletop. And planting the hands firmly here, we'll start to roll onto the hips. So we're kind of coming from a child's pose and we're rocking forward, allowing the hips to open and allowing the feet to reach towards the head almost. Maybe it feels nice to drop the head towards the feet. And then when you're ready, you can slowly make your way back into child's pose. Seeing if this time you can release a little bit further into the mat. From here, we'll start to walk the hands over to the left side of the mat in child's pose. And then we'll slowly start to walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. Whenever you're ready, we'll start to come back to center for our last child's pose in today's practice. Whenever you're ready, you can start to walk the hands back towards the body. And you can sweep your feet from underneath you, coming onto your body. From here, we'll stretch both feet out long in front of us, and we'll just start to flex and point the toes. Then we'll start to inhale the arms up above head, and exhale as we fold over for a seated forward fold. Allowing the hands to fall wherever they land, and knowing we don't need to reach all the way to the toes. We'll slowly allow the torso to come back up. And then we'll start to shift onto our backs. Starting to lie down on the mat. From here, we can hug the knees back into the chest and start to rock from side to side. Maybe once again we draw these nice circles with the knees if that feels nice. Just listening to your body and following your own intuitive movement. We'll hug the knees into the chest here. And then you can drop the hands to the mat or to the floor. With an inhale, we'll pull the knees in closer to the chest. And with an exhale, we'll start to drop the knees over to the left side, coming into a supine twist. knees back to center. And we'll exhale as we drop the knees over to the right side. Whenever you're ready, you can inhale the knees back up into the chest. And you can drop the feet to meet the mat. From here, you can once again take any intuitive movements, maybe windshield wiper the knees from side to side, stretching out the hips here. And then whenever you're ready, you can allow the legs to come out long. Allow the arms to come out long beside you. And allow the eyes to close. Allowing the body and mind to rest here as we move into Shavasana. Whenever you're ready, we'll start to bring our awareness back to the room, and back to this present moment. Refocusing on the inhale and on the exhale. Maybe starting to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Starting to invite some small movement back into the body. And taking your time, keeping the eyes closed, we'll roll over onto our side position. Whenever you're ready, keeping the eyes closed, you can start to press yourself up into a seated position. You can bring the hands to heart center as we take one final breath together. Remembering our intention from the beginning of class and giving it one more moment. We'll start to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And when you're ready, you can start to bow forward. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing today. I hope this brought you everything that you needed, and I hope you take a moment to reflect and notice how you feel after the class versus how you felt before the class. And I hope that the rest of the day treats you well, or the rest of your evening treats you well. I'm sending you so much love, light, and positivity. If you'd like to see any more yoga videos from me, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and check out a few more of my videos, as well as leave me a comment and let me know what you thought, how you're feeling this moment. And that's all. Thank you so much.